you start your probings, and they'll probably teach you this, you'll start up here on the upper right, most distal tooth. You'll start doing your probings, and you'll walk it all the way around, okay? All the way around on the buccal, and you'll flip over, and you're doing the lingual here, because this is the maxilla. Same way on the lower. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. So I was saying at the central incisors where it goes distal, mesial, mesial, distal.
Yeah.
Yes. This mesial. Let's see. Distal, central. Let's see. Mesial, facial, mesial, mesial, facial, central. Is that what you're asking? It will not flip around and then you're not doing it quadrant by quadrant. You're doing it arch by arch. Am I following you?
Yep.
Where should you mark it as baseline again then?
For the perio, you're just going to hit here on the oops. I won't be able to do it because we've already marked this as a continuity. Right here, because it hasn't been. Once this is activated in the edit mode, that can be marked as a baseline. So, first time into this chart, enter the data, it's authorized and marked as baseline. Okay? If there's frication involvement, again, down below here, or you can click on frications. Another set of parameters will come in there and you can mark your frications. If you're going to mark mobility, you just click on the center of the tooth and the numbers will come up and you can drop the number in there for the mobility related events. Okay? If you've done your odontogram completely, anything that's on these teeth in terms of restorative care, crown and bridge, it's going to show up there as well, which is a nice feature to have. You can see what's on there at a glance and look back in terms of the periodontal probing and see if there's any correlation or relationship between what's going on there. Okay? Let me just give this as an aside. If you're working with someone as an assistant and taking these numbers, or if you're calling out the numbers, what you really need to do is make sure you call them out crisp and loud in triplets. Okay? 3, 2, 1. Pause. 2, 3, 1. Pause. Okay? There's a tendency that you're working with that probe and working yourself across there and you may go 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, I'm going to get lost. Okay? So break it up into triplets when you're working in the clinic and you're working with somebody. Crisp, loud triplets. 3, 2, 1. You know there's a pause there. And then you go to the next two. 2, 3, 1. 2, 3, 1. 2, 3, 1. Does that make sense to you? It'll save you a lot of time so you don't get lost. And going back and correcting poor probing does. The other big thing that you're going to be doing in screening clinic is ordering radiographs. You're going to come in here, click on new, you get a new screen, you come over here, you get the drop down, you can select the particular film that you're going to use, okay? The number of films that you want to take, and then you're going to get that authorized by your faculty member here. And that will allow you to be able to go over to radiology. They will see that on their computer. They will hand you your sensors. You'll be able to take your radiographs, and they'll immediately be popping up for you. When you're done with taking those radiographs, you need to make sure that your faculty member will come over here, and they'll review those with you, and they'll authorize them as reviewed. You'll come down to findings. You'll enter the date and your initials, and you will describe as best detail you can what you saw on those films. So, walking you back to what's required of you by the state is that you've got to do an initial exam and assessment of that patient in terms of their oral cavity, make a determination of what films you need, prescribe the films, which is what you're doing here, by selecting them, you're prescribing them. And then you're coming back, authorizing and putting your findings in that you've made an assessment of those films and a diagnosis based upon those films, and you're entering it at that point, okay? So that completes your requirements from the state. Examine the patient, determine what radiographs. You select those and prescribe those radiographs, and you document that you've reviewed those radiographs and put down the findings. So, okay? Anything else you want to see here on this particular area? You've got consults. You can fill out the consult form. If you're going to endo, the people in endo are going to describe to you what they expect out of that particular area. Okay? Prescription writing is pretty self-explanatory. Remember, with prescription writing, when you write a prescription and you send it off to print, you should not use the print preview to print from. Print it from the prescription screen itself. Just go to print and send it out. When you do it that way, it will go to the proper printer. That proper printer will put watermarks on your prescription, and that way the patient can't falsify that record or duplicate it in any way, okay? If you get your prescription back and it looks like it's just written on white paper, that's incorrect. You should look at it and see all those fuzzy lines in the background. Those fuzzy lines are water markings that will prevent fraudulent activity on the part of the patient.